Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for January 4th. January 4th is the fourth day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 361 days remaining to the end of the year, or 362 if it happens to be a leap year. January 4th is World Braille Day, and we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a little bit. Yesterday we talked about a man in his 80s. Do you remember? But that reminded me there's a word for someone in their 80s, and it's octogenarian. Octogenarian. The word octogenarian can be used as a noun or an adjective, as in, he gets around so well you'd never guess he was an octogenarian as a noun, or the octogenarian artist had an impressive body of work as an adjective. The word octogenarian comes to us from Latin, a combined word that meant containing 80. First known use of the word octogenarian is in the 1780s, octogenarian. And with that, this is the birthday of Louis Braille, born January 4th, 1809. Louis was born sighted, but was blinded in both eyes as the result of an early childhood accident. He was able to go to France's Royal Institute for Blind Youth, where he began to develop a system of tactile code that one could follow with the fingertips to help blind people read. There had previously been some tactile methods to try to help people read, but they were cumbersome or complicated. And so Braille worked with those ideas and developed his own system, which he had mostly completed by the time he was 15. He went on to become a teacher at that blind school and continued to work on his tactile letters, which are now simply called Braille. Louis Braille continued working on that system until his death, and the Braille system remains virtually unchanged since then. Louis Braille died at the relatively young age of 43 from tuberculosis. In honor of his lifetime and accomplishments, January 4th is World Braille Day. Utah was admitted as the 45th state on January 4th, 1896. Salt Lake City is the capital and largest metro area in Utah. Utah is the 13th largest by area, the 30th most populous, and 11th least densely populated state in the Union. Utah's official nickname is the Beehive State, but it is also sometimes called the Mormon State, as slightly over half the population of Utah are Mormons. Indeed, the world headquarters of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, commonly called the LDS Church, is located in Salt Lake City. Utah's state flower is the sego lily. Its state tree is the quaking aspen. Animals associated with the state of Utah include the Rocky Mountain elk, the western honeybee, and the Gila monster. The Gila monster, by the way, is the only venomous lizard native to the United States. There's another related species of venomous lizard called the beaded lizard that resides in Mexico and southern Guatemala. Some good news about Gila monsters is that they are slow-moving, so you would just about have to work to get bitten by one. Probably survivable, but very unpleasant. I recommend a great little 4-minute video that I've linked in the description for more information about Gila monsters if you're curious about that. Back to Utah, though. Utah was named after the Ute tribe. Interestingly, the Utes did not call themselves Utes, nor did such a word even exist in their language. Utah's name actually comes from an Apache word, Utahai, which meant mountain people, or one that is higher up, or those that are higher up. When the Spanish explorers came along, they simply pronounced it as Utah, and that pronunciation evolved to the current pronunciation, Utah. This is the birthday of John Michael Stipe, born January 4th, 1960. He's an American singer, songwriter, and artist, better known as Michael Stipe, lead singer and lyricist of the alternative rock band REM. Michael was born in Decatur, Georgia, to a military family, so they moved around a good bit. He met a record clerk in 1980 named Peter Buck, and the two became friends. They decided to form a band and wrote some music together. By and by, they were joined by a couple of other guys, Bill Berry and Mike Mills. As I've said before, if you are a band looking to make records, you got to have a name. Michael Stipe selected the name REM at random from a dictionary. They really put themselves into writing songs and making records, and did well enough to keep doing so. REM continued on until 2011 when they disbanded. Michael Stipe is still active in the biz. In the 1980s, I was aware of a band called REM, but not particularly familiar with their music. I was listening to different stations when REM hit the airwaves, and when this one came out, Mr. Bowers himself asked me if I'd ever seen the music video for a song called Losing My Religion. The title put me off. I didn't think I'd be interested, but he said, "Oh, but check out this video." That was back in the days of MTV and VH1 when they played music videos, so I watched the video for Losing My Religion, my introduction to the song. Such interesting imagery in this video. It reminded me of a story I'd read in college, A Very Old Man with Enormous Wings by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. It appears as though the Very Old Man with Enormous Wings has made an appearance in the music video for Losing My Religion. Take a look, see what you think. Written by Bill Berry, Peter Buck, Mike Mills, and Michael Stipe, Losing My Religion was the first single from REM's seventh album, and its intriguing video, which got play on MTV and VH1, helped boost the song's reach. Losing My Religion reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, won some Grammy Awards, and a place in the Grammy Hall of Fame. Losing My Religion by REM. Link in the description. And if you have time and are so inclined, check out that story, A Very Old Man with Enormous Wings by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. There's a link in the description for that too. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That playlist lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page. It's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.